The hangar is one of the best businesses in GTA Online, offering some of the biggest ways to make money for those willing to put in the work. So let's go over everything that you need to know about it. There are a total of 5 different hangar locations, ranging from $1.2 million all the way up to over $3.2 million. So which location is the best? Well, you want to choose between any of the 3 Fort Zancudo hangars. The cheapest one will cost just over $2 million, and it's in a perfect location. But why? These 3 hangar locations allow very easy access into the military base, as you won't ever get a wanted level for entering. This can be very useful, especially if you want to steal a jet without any problems. However, the most important reason is that they are the closest to almost all of the sourcing missions, which is going to save you a ton of time and hassle. Normally, these missions would take 10 to 15 minutes to complete, but not for the Fort Zancudo hangars. As for the upgrades, there are many options to choose, which could see you spending over $5 million, but most of these are useless and they won't make you more money, except for the living quarters, which is very useful, allowing you to spawn inside of your hangar whenever you join the game. Apart from being one of the best businesses, the hangar can also be used to store aircrafts, as it is the only property that can do that. So if you're planning on buying a lot of planes or helicopters, the hangar is a must-own property, and if you're one of those players, you should purchase the workshop upgrade, which will cost $1.15 million. This will allow you to modify any aircrafts that are stored inside of your hangar, which is very useful. So how does the business work? Basically, you need to source supplies for the hangar by doing source missions. Then these get turned into product for you to sell. And when it comes to actually sourcing supplies, how do we do that? Unlike other businesses, there are no options to buy supplies, which does mean higher profits, but also much more time spent on the business, as you will always have to do the source missions, which can be started from the source tab on your computer. You're going to see 8 different cargo types, but I'll be going over those later. When sourcing crates, there are 2 mission types: air missions or land missions. The air source missions are some of the longest and most boring in the game, taking up to 15 minutes to finish while also being much harder, unlike the land missions, which have 4 variants, 2 of which will require you to pick up a crate from a location, and the others having vehicles to deliver with the crates inside, all of which are much faster and easier to do. As a solo player, you will always receive 1 crate per mission. However, this will of course change depending on if you have other players, allowing you to steal multiple at once, which will make it a lot faster. These single crate missions are extremely easy to do. Just head to either a crash site or a warehouse, where you can quickly collect and deliver the crate within minutes. For the trailer mission, instead of having to drive a slow truck all the way back to your hangar, just blow up the trailer, allowing you to collect all of the crates, which is much faster. The sea barge mission is the worst one that you can get, making you go underwater and collect the cargo using a submarine, where you will then have to load it onto a very slow van. It is a massive waste of time, but not as much as the air missions. There is one more way that you can source cargo, and that is through your staff member Rooster, who can be found here inside your hangar. He will charge $25,000 every time and takes 48 minutes. Most of the time he will source 1 crate, but rarely ever 2 crates, which is the maximum that he will get. The cargo type is also random, and for what I'm about to go over next, avoid Rooster at all times. So what about the money? Like I said earlier, there are 8 different cargo types, which are split up into 3 groups, each group having different values based on their sell bonuses. The maximum amount per cargo type is 50 crates. Group 1 is made of 2 types of cargo: counterfeit and tobacco. For every 5 crates from the 2 types, you get a bonus of 5%, with the maximum reaching 50% for 50 crates, which sells for $2.25 million. Group 2 is made up of 3 cargo types: jewelry, art and animal, and for every 15 crates from the 3 types, you get a bonus of 12%, with the maximum reaching 60% for 50 crates, which will sell for $2.4 million. Group 3 is made up of 3 types of cargo: medical, chemicals and narcotics, and for every 25 crates from those 3 types, you get a 35% bonus, with the maximum maximum reaching 70% for 50 crates, which will sell for $2.5 million, making it the best cargo group. Now that's not the only thing that changes, because each group also has cooldowns. Group 1 has a base cooldown of 1 minute, and for every crate that you source, that is 1 added minute, meaning for solo players, you will have a 2-minute cooldown between sourcing. Group 2 has a base cooldown of 2 minutes, meaning for solo players, you will have a 3-minute cooldown. And Group 3 has a base cooldown of 3 minutes, which means solo players will have a 4-minute cooldown. Basically, you just add 1 minute onto the base cooldown for every crate that you're sourcing. For example, if you had 3 friends and you source Group 3, you would be sourcing 4 crates. So you would add 4 minutes onto the base cooldown, meaning you would be waiting for 7 minutes until you can source again. So what should you be doing? If you want to make the most money, you should only ever source Group 3 cargo types. However, with the 4-minute cooldowns, sourcing just 50 crates of one type of Group 3 cargo is going to take you forever, although it is worth it. Instead, you can decide to fill up 25 crates of chemical and 25 crates of either narcotics or medical, as you don't spend as much time and you still get a 35% bonus for each. This way, during the 4-minute cooldowns for chemical, you can source narcotics, for example, and when you're done, the cooldown will have finished, meaning you didn't have to wait between each cooldown, which can then be sold for $1 million each, earning you a total of $2 million, taking about 4 hours to fill up, which means you're making around $500,000 per hour. However, if you want the maximum amount of money by selling 50 crates of medical, chemical, or narcotics, you will of course make $2.5 million with the 70% bonus. The only problem is, of course, the time, but it is worth doing. This could take anywhere from 5 hours to 7 hours to source 50 crates, if you are of course solo. Selling these in a public lobby is going to increase your profits massively. For every player, you earn a 2% high demand bonus, meaning if you sell 50 crates of Group 3 in a 20+ player lobby, you will earn a whopping $3.8 million. This works out to an hourly estimate of around $540,000 or $360,000 without the high demand bonus. Although this is a very risky thing to do, it's going to be very rewarding. Just make sure someone is watching your back when selling. Speaking of, when it comes to selling, you can choose either to sell by air or land. Here's the amazing thing, no matter how many crates you have, you will only ever get one sell vehicle when selling by land. However, air missions can be split up into over 8 vehicles depending on how many crates you have. Obviously, always sell by land. The missions are incredibly easy to do. It will be a vehicle drop to different points on the map, or even sometimes only one drop, taking you less than 10 minutes and earning you millions. With all that being said, you now know everything about the hangar. This is an incredible business. However, it is a business that will not be liked by most solo players, as it is best to be completed with friends. But if you are willing to put in the effort, you can earn a lot of money from it. Check out more guides from me on screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more.